Hi guys. So I'm here still in the yoga studio in Basel, teaching Angamarana this weekend and Buddha Shuddhi. So somebody had asked me, Ogi, hi Ogi. He's interested in taking the Isha Hatha yoga teacher training, and well, he was wondering if it gets boring if you teach the same program over and over, and you need to give the same instructions over and over again. If it becomes like monotonous, boring routine. And I think, it probably could become boring depending on how you approach it. For me, it never gets boring because there's one thing you might have forgotten in your theory, that it becomes boring. You say it becomes boring because you teach the same thing. Maybe you use the same words because the instructions are still the same. The practices don't change. In Isha Hatha yoga, it's one of the kind of Hatha style where you do the same practice again and again and again. You don't just switch it up one day, that and that and that, like they do in some other schools. So one thing you forgot, Ogi, that one thing which is not the same, one thing that changes in every program are the people. So in every program I meet new people, and every person is so unique. And this is probably the one thing that's most, fulfilling in this kind of, I don't want to call it job, I would say like, in this kind of role, the teacher role, is that you get the privilege to be with these people. And you can help them, moving from where they are to a little bit further ahead in terms of their growth. Now, I'm not a guru or something, and I can't help them all the way, but maybe I can help them a little bit, and then, something else will come up for them, or who knows. But I can help them a little bit, and I think this is the most fulfilling thing you can do. Sadhguru once said that the quality of our lives is not determined by, what we have, but it's how much we touch other people's lives that determines our own quality of life. And I think this is so true because, having these people in the program and, seeing after them, hearing them, what they say after the program or after many weeks and months, how the practices have helped them. And them being grateful to you because you have, been playing a small role in that. There's nothing like, no money in the world that could pay for that. Obviously, you need some money to pay your bills and to make a living. And I'm all for that, I'm not the kind of guy who says that you shouldn't have money or yoga and money doesn't go hand in hand. All of that I think is nonsense. But I still think that this kind of reward or compensation that you get in the kind of privilege by being able to touch other people's lives, that cannot be paid in any other way. So it's not at all boring to go through the programs because you are there like in a, it's like you're right there with them as they walk through their struggles and as you help them move through their struggles. So it's really like the best thing I can imagine doing, I have other things that I do and I enjoy them greatly on different levels, Life is always on different levels, right? You have like some stuff that's just fun to do and you enjoy doing it and it gives you some reward and it's great to do it. obviously there's pleasure, physical pleasure, but then there's deeper kinds of fulfillment and involvement in life. That is something that, being a Hatha yoga teacher, definitely one can experience. And even that probably is limited to some extent, and you shouldn't get addicted to that thing, because ultimately you don't want to be depending on other people's, I don't know, what do you want to call it? So you have to keep the balance. But still, I think as you walk on the path, and as we are still walking on the path as teachers, we're still just seekers. So being able to be a seeker and to walk, to grow, and then while you do that, being able to help others on the way, I think it's just a beautiful, it's a beautiful way to combine your own growth with being useful, doing something useful to others and helping others, and also feeling that privilege. So whatever words you use, whatever teaching methodology you use, class setup and practices that might have been, not changing every time, but that's just like the very, minimal foundation of it all. It's like, when you cook a meal, and let's say you cook something new. Now, I'm not sure where this analogy is going to end, but I hope it's going to make sense. But let's say you want to cook a new meal. You're not just going to start everything from scratch, right? You're still going to use your, let's say you want to make a pasta meal. So you're still going to cook the pasta in the same way. You boil it for 10 minutes in the water, and then you're going to take it out. But the sauce, you can do so many things. You can use so many different vegetables and spices and the way you prepare it, so that the noodles are just the basic foundation. But you're not gonna say, oh, it's boring to cook because every time the noodles I have to boil them for 10 minutes. No, there's so much more to it, right? So I think the analogy is not quite hitting the nail here, but maybe you get what I mean. There's just so much more to it, and the other stuff, the class structure and the methodology and all that, is just a kind of a foundation, a very solid foundation, and you need that foundation. Okay, if you want to build a house, you need to have a solid foundation, but you can't just leave it with the foundation. You have to do much more. And so the houses that we build in every program, they're all very individual and very different, but the foundation is always there. Maybe that makes sense. Instead of the noodles, I don't know. Which analogy do you think made more sense? The foundation of the house or the spaghetti? Please leave a comment below. Alright, guys. I hope this is helpful to you. If you have more questions, leave a comment. Let me know what your questions are. I'm more than happy to speak about it. And see, it's really, really beautiful out here in Basel. They have these really beautiful buildings. I like Switzerland. So leave a comment with your question. I'm going to respond to it. Also, please, guys, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel down here. And also make sure you turn on the notifications so you get my new weekly videos. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope I see you again next week. Bye.